11 advice you can't miss. Be prepared. Inflation is a hot topic these days, and we all want to be prepared if things go haywire, right? There are some battle-tested strategies that ordinary people use to survive hyperinflation. Do you want to know about it? So in this video, get ready to learn some practical tips that can help you effectively prepare for inflation. Let's dive into this incredible chapter and equip ourselves with the knowledge to conquer any financial storm that comes our way. Let's start. Before we begin our trip into survival techniques in times of economic upheaval, it's critical to state clearly that what follows is not financial advice. And let us be clear, we are not really financial advisors. The goal here is not to plant seeds of worry or to conduct a panic symphony. Let us now enter a rich metaphorical world that speaks to the collective imagination. Consider yourself aboard the Titanic, which is a renowned ship with a tragic fate. The looming iceberg on the horizon foreshadows the impending disaster. Every nook and cranny, every economic aspect is inextricably linked to the depreciating currency. The analogy with a country dealing with hyperinflation is painfully obvious. Diversification methods, which are generally a lifeboat in stormy financial waters, fail miserably. The declining currency casts a shadow over every investment, security, piece of property, and economic activity. The metaphor reveals a key truth while navigating these perilous economic waters. There is no interior sanctuary to protect one from the impending storm. It's a frightening realization that forces us to reconsider conventional techniques. Those suffering hyperinflation must look beyond the bounds of the economy, much like passengers on the Titanic desperately seeking a lifeboat. This metaphorical journey highlights a fundamental paradigm shift, one that challenges conventional wisdom and necessitates a rethinking of survival techniques. Now that the message is clear here, the answers lie not in old territory, but in navigating new paths and discovering alternate havens unaffected by the widespread effect of the sinking currency. This vision serves as a compass, guiding us through the undiscovered realms of hyperinflation as we delve further into the complexities of economic survival. It invites us to consider not only where to seek refuge, but also how to reimagine financial resilience in the face of impending economic storms. The evolving story, linked with symbolic threads, challenges us to reevaluate our approach to diversification and protection in an ever-changing economic landscape. As we traverse the choppy waters of economic turmoil, a poignant piece of survival wisdom emerges: abandon ship. This grim realization has striking similarities to Zimbabwe's historical migration, in which an astounding 4 million people sought sanctuary elsewhere during the upheaval of hyperinflation. This mass migration highlights an important point. Fleeing the grips of hyperinflation is no longer a choice, but a dire necessity. Examining Zimbabwe's narrative reveals a startling truth. Migration, while not a universal remedy, emerges as a significant consideration when hyperinflation threatens. When evaluated against the first-hand accounts of individuals who braved the storm, the magnitude of this decision becomes clear. However, for some, the chance of fleeing the economic storm may remain elusive, especially if regulatory limitations tighten their hold. As severe economic crises erupt, the threat of increased border controls looms large on the horizon. While Zimbabwe, burdened by hyperinflation, lacked the ability to stem the exodus of its citizens, other countries may not be so forgiving. Emerges as a fundamental question, imprinting itself into the psyches of those facing economic uncertainty. This is not merely a rhetorical question, but a critical one for those navigating the storm of hyperinflation. It entices many to consider the unthinkable, obtaining a second or third passport, perhaps seeking wise assistance from migration specialists well-versed in navigating these turbulent waters. The emotional weight of leaving loved ones behind adds another element of complication to this choice. However, as the echoes of Zimbabwe's experience resonate across the annals of economic history, a sobering truth emerges. While contemplating the difficulty of such a decision may be emotionally charged, it is undoubtedly worthwhile to examine. Migration appears in the tapestry of survival methods, not just as an escape route but also as a proactive response to the unrelenting onslaught of hyperinflation. It encourages people to broaden their views, cross borders, and seek refuge in the promise of economic stability. Migration becomes a thread sewn into the fabric of resilience in this fascinating story of economic survival. It asks us to consider not only the practicalities of obtaining a passport, but also the tremendous emotional and social ramifications of such a significant decision. As the winds of economic upheaval continue to blow, the question remains: will you be prepared to negotiate the unpredictability of hyperinflation? Or will you consider taking refuge outside the familiar shores? As we dive into the intricate techniques of weathering hyperinflation, those who choose to weather the storm on familiar shores discover a rewritten survival manual. Drawing inspiration from Zimbabweans confronting adversity, where food shortages and rising crime rates throw a shadow over daily life, the power found in solidarity becomes a beacon of hope. Survival hinges on community engagement, making trading a necessary lifeline. Sports clubs, churches, and charities transcend their traditional functions in the furnace of hyperinflation, becoming crucial sites of support and trade. In the midst of the chaos, the narrative shifts. Relationships, trust, and community solidarity emerge as the new foundation of survival, supplanting the previous dependence on currency. In this day and age of declining financial stability, the value of community takes center stage, emphasizing its significance in the complicated dance of survival. However, as conventional currencies lose their usefulness, the search for alternatives becomes an essential chapter in the survival drama. Governments dealing with hyperinflation might tighten their control by attempting to suppress any money that is not legal tender. Understanding the significant influence of money, the writer offers wise counsel. Designate a part of savings overseas, protecting riches in stable currencies and investments during times of intense inflation or hyperinflation. This tactical maneuver, however, comes with a caution, an asterisk in the survival guidebook, recognizing the fragility of storing foreign currencies within borders. The tale of billionaire Michael Saylor's defeat in Argentina serves as a stark warning that governments can demand conversion in their desire for control. A forced conversion resulted in a 90% devaluation, emphasizing the insecure nature of local assets. The tale not only encourages a re-evaluation of traditional conceptions in this varied journey through economic survival, but it also invites folks to contemplate the offshore horizon as a refuge. The story emphasizes the strategic necessity of offshore holdings as we traverse the uncharted waters of hyperinflation, a resilient response to the unpredictable dance of currency values. Now, the question from you is, will you anchor your financial destiny on the volatile tides of local currency? Or will you heed the call to diversify, seeking the stable shores of offshore investments as a hedge against the tempest of hyperinflation? The story unfolds, asking us to think about how to keep our assets safe in a time when making financial decisions is tricky and uncertain. It takes a daring path, moving us through the dangers of extreme inflation. This changes our focus from simple, boring tasks to a careful mix of planning and relying on the support of our community. As we deal with the increasing danger of economic crises, we see a complex and varied plan take shape. This strategy combines the idea of moving to safer places, the strength we get from our community, and the smart use of savings in foreign places. It's like a detailed guide for dealing with the unpredictable challenges of extreme inflation. This approach helps us understand the importance of being ready for anything and the value of community support in tough economic times. It's not just about surviving the storm. It's about arranging a symphony of techniques to prevail over the impending upheaval. So, that's it for today's video. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the subscribe button. Until next time.